Have you ever sat in a room, maybe your office, your kitchen, or even your childhood bedroom, and felt like you were waiting for a permission slip that was never going to arrive? There's this specific kind of modern exhaustion that comes from waiting for the situation to improve. We wait for the boss to notice the burnout. We wait for the partner to finally understand the silence. We wait for the they, that vague, powerful group of people, to fix the neighborhood, the climate, or the system. It's a strange, floating feeling, like you're a passenger in a car that's heading toward a dead end and you're looking at the driver's seat, but no one is driving. You keep expecting someone to reach for the wheel. You keep thinking, surely any minute now the person in charge will do something. But the car keeps rolling, and the silence in the cabin gets louder. And you realize that you've been waiting so long for a savior that you've forgotten how to move your own feet. Clint Eastwood, a man whose entire image is built on the idea of the lone individual standing against the world, once said, "Sometimes if you want to see a change for the better, you have to take things into your own hands." Now, please don't take that as a call to action. Don't let it be a get up and grind slogan. I'm not sure I even like the quote. It's heavy, it's blunt, it feels like a burden. But I want to look at it, not as a command, but as a diagnosis of a very specific kind of pain. The pain of realizing that the world might be indifferent to your better. What does it actually mean to take things into your own hands? It sounds noble in a movie, but in reality, it's messy. Does it assume that our hands are strong enough? Does it assume we actually know what better looks like? I wonder, who does this idea leave behind? If the only way to see change is to do it yourself, what happens to the tired? What happens to the people whose hands are already full just trying to survive? And there's a darker question. If I take things into my own hands, am I saying that I don't trust you? Am I saying that community is a failure? Taking things into your own hands is a very lonely way to live. It suggests that the only person you can truly rely on is the one in the mirror. And I don't know about you, but some days that's the person I trust the least. We see this struggle every day, don't we? In our jobs, we wait for the culture to change. We complain in the break room about the inefficiency, the unfairness, but we wait. We wait for a memo. We wait for a meeting. We stay in the waiting room of our own lives because it's safer than the risk of acting. In our relationships, we wait for the other person to change for the better. We think, if I just give it more time, they'll see. But what if they don't? What if taking it into your own hands means having the conversation that might end the relationship? What if it means being the one to walk away? Even on social media, we post about how the world should be. We point at the screen and say, someone should fix this. But there's a gap between pointing at a problem and putting your hands on it. The screen keeps us at a distance. It lets us feel the outrage of change without the friction of actually doing anything. We want the better, but we're terrified of the hands part, because hands get dirty, hands get scarred. But maybe Eastwood's perspective is a bit narrow. There's a strong argument to be made that taking things into your own hands is exactly how we break things. Sometimes the most better thing you can do is to wait, to have the humility to realize that you can't fix the system alone, that your better might actually be someone else's worse. Think about the damage done by people who were absolutely certain they knew how to make things better and decided to force it. History is full of people who took things into their own hands and left a trail of wreckage behind them. Maybe there's a virtue in patience that we've forgotten. Maybe taking things into your own hands is often just a form of ego, a way to feel powerful when we feel small. What if the real change comes not from the individual hero, but from the slow, quiet, collective work of people who are willing to wait for each other? Think about one thing in your life right now that you wish was different. Just one. Are you waiting for it to change?
Are you looking for a sign? I want you to imagine, just for a second, that no one is coming. No boss, no parent, no politician, no fate. If the situation stays exactly like this for the next 10 years, how does that feel in your chest? Is the fear of taking it into your own hands greater than the fear of it never changing? I don't know the answer for you. I'm still trying to figure it out for myself. Sometimes, if you want to see a change for the better, you have to take things into your own hands. It's a cold thought. It's a lonely thought. It's the sound of a door closing on the idea that the world owes us an improvement. But maybe it's also a reminder that we aren't just observers. We have these tools, these hands. I wonder, though, if you did take the wheel, where would you actually go? And if you got there, and you were all alone because you did it all yourself, would it still feel like better? I'm not sure. What are you holding on to right now? And what are you waiting to let go of?